Thanks for joining us for the OnTop Bowling Explainer video. OnTop Bowling is very much like real bowling in that the scoring for frames 1 through 9 is a little different than frame 10. And let's go through the OnTop Bowling scoring methodology for frames 1 through 9. If you miss your first 2 tosses, you forfeit your third and you score at a 0. If you make only your first toss and miss your other 2, then you score at a 5 in the first box and an open frame in the second box. If you make only your second toss, missing your first and third, you score at a 0 on the first ball and 5 in the second box. If you make 2 out of the 3 tosses, you score at a spare with the first ball worth 5 points. And if you make all 3, you score at a strike. Now in the 10th frame, it's much like the 9th frame in that if you miss your first 2 balls, you forfeit your third. But how it's different is all other balls made are treated as a spare or a strike, and you'll have to refer to the chart for guidance. It's either a 0, spare, or strike. The other thing too I want to mention is scoring in bowling, real bowling or this bowling, is very different than most other scoring. And usually you have that big screen above your lane that keeps score for you. I suggest you download an app, free app for scorekeeping. You can also make your own, or you could download a PDF. But I downloaded this app called My Bowling Free, and you can upgrade to include more than 2 bowlers. It's free with just 2 bowlers, but this helps me keep score, and it's much easier than doing it myself. So let's go through some of the examples that we just talked about. The first being, if you miss your first 2, you forfeit your third and you score at a 0 in an open frame. The other is when you make only 1 ball, in this case the first ball, you score at a 5 in an open frame. If you miss your first and make your second and miss your third, you would score at a 0 for the first box and a 5 for the second. Combinations, if you make 2 out of the 3 balls, such as the 2 and the 3, or the first and the third, or the first and the second toss, you would score at a 5 in the first box and a spare overall for the frame. And if you make all 3, you score at a strike. So there you have it. OnTop Bowling Explained. All 21 methods are available for download at ontopballtoss.com, and visit us on Instagram at ontopballtoss. Take care.